Winning is the purpose of legends, you gotta understand. Dropping all the bombs, he forever. Listen, man, yeah. What makes you...
Well, there's more Montezi More, everybody. It's the Brian Vinny Show. It is August 21, 2018. Figure4online.com/wrestlingobserver.com. We've been sitting here for 13 minutes.
No one if you hadn't said anything.
We're on tape.
He's
got a split screen with all three of us. No, it wasn't. Get out.
He's not. I can see it right there.
Yeah, it's not now. He probably saw you fiddling with the thing and moved away from it like a good producer.
What the hell is Vince doing?
Now, he moved away from it, but I'm sure that everyone saw you fiddling around with that damn thing.
I moved the mic, everybody.
Didn't you just have an argument with Dave about drawing attention to things?
No. What are you talking about?
Yes, you did.
Drawing attention to what?
I don't remember the conversation. You said something about
Exactly.
drawing attention to something.
Clearly
and
made
they
it
didn't
up.
have to do it.
Oh, when Coach was talking about guys calling spots.
Exactly.
That's totally different.
I'm with Brian. This is totally different.
Thank you.
Coach, I did something dumb. Coach did the antithesis of his job.
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot.
It can no longer be argued that Jonathan Coachman is the worst wrestling announcer of all time.
Oh.
He did the exact opposite of what his job is supposed to be.
Absolutely the worst.
His job is to cover a fake sport and convince you, the viewer, it is real. He covers a fake sport and points out all the fake shit they're doing.
Yeah.
I got so pissed.
You know why I like you, Vinny?
Thank you.
I try to defend you.
Actually, I don't. Well, go ahead.
I try to defend you, and you cut me down.
But Vince is an honest man.
I am an... hey.
If there's one thing we can say about Vinny, he's an honest man.
It's true.
That's why he's had a job here for 13 years of his life. Holy shit, what a thing to think about.
Wow.
The more I think about this, the less sense it makes. So
It's funny you haven't done an honest job.
Listen, I don't want to talk about Vegas today. I'm in too bad of a mood. Pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, I watched the Retro Raw, which is just awful.
It was.
A goddamn awful show. Meanwhile, 19 fucking years ago later, at the exact same time that I'm watching that shitty show, WWE's put another fucking shitty show live that I gotta watch later on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Becky's a heel.
Sure.
Fuck you fucking morons. They're so bad at their job. And by they, I mean Vince McMahon. I never thought I'd live to see the day where Vince McMahon became Vince Russo. He can't write a goddamn story to save his life.
No.
He's a fucking idiot. I can't believe I'm even saying this. This is just a level of idiocy I cannot even comprehend. Fuck. Let's talk about this. Let's get Raw out of the way because I at least loved my life watching Nitro.
There was a lot of good stuff on that.
Unlike the last 2 hours where I thought, the fuck am I doing with my life? I gotta do something different. I gotta just get out of this.
This Raw was horrendous. WWF Retro Raw 326, August 23rd, 1999. Had pics of Mankind winning the World Championship at SummerSlam the night before.
Oh, let's talk about that. So, Hunter was supposed to win. Supposed to be Hunter and Steve Austin. Because Steve Austin's going to be out for a while. They need a top heel. They've been building Hunter up forever. That was going to be the day that he beat Stone Cold Steve Austin to win the title. Well, people were talking about it on the internet.
Jeez.
In fucking 1999, we've got to change it. People know that's going to be the finish. So they booked their little swerve, and Mankind wins. So, Hunter's still going to get the title, as we find out on Raw. So, they, instead of giving Hunter the championship at the SummerSlam pay-per-view over Stone Cold Steve Austin, in order to fool the internet, they put it on Mick Foley. Mick Foley then goes to Raw, and Hunter beats Mick Foley. So, first off, Hunter never even beat Steve Austin.
No.
The one thing you need to do if you're trying to make a new guy is he should beat fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right.
Well, they had to swerve everybody, and so he didn't even beat Steve Austin. Then, instead of winning the championship and his coronation being on the SummerSlam pay-per-view, he gets it at the end of a Raw that was so fucking shitty. I'm not even making this up. This show was so bad that I'm watching the main event, and like all of a sudden, Hunter wins.
Yes.
Like, I had totally zoned out of the show.
Yeah.
The show was so bad that I completely zoned out, and I suddenly woke up and Hunter, they raised his hand.
Hunter Hearst
I have
won his
no
first
idea.
World Championship in a guard.
I have no idea what the finish was. I mean, I know it was a pedigree because it's Hunter, but like, I don't know how it got set up. I don't know what the fuck happened as a viewer.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you guys remember the reign of terror of Triple H, how it took so fucking long to get the guy over, it all started here.
Yeah.
When they had to change the finish because some fucking dorks on the internet were talking about it in 1999. Dude, I hate this business. I hate it.
I'm not going to change your mind here over the next 20, 30 minutes. So Jim Ross is in the ring. He's about to introduce the new world champion, Mankind, when Triple H and China interrupt. Now, a fan at this point held up a sign that had a racial slur for Asians that I should not repeat here.
Yeah, it did.
And I thought, wow, I'll surely take that away very quickly.
No.
No.
Whole thing.
Not only did they not take it, no one kicked his ass.
And the network didn't blur it out.
They were going to blur it out. What the hell? It was there the whole show. So Hunter rants about how he keeps getting screwed. He had the belt one last night. The ref refused to count just because he had used a chair. Crowd chanting for Austin. Hunter says he had Austin pedigreed and beat, and Foley has stolen the pin, and this was bullshit.
A bunch of bullshit, they said.
Not bleeped. He bragged about laying Austin out after the match and taking him out of wrestling forever. Said Ross was enjoying this, put Ross in an armbar, demanded Foley come out or he'd break Ross's arm.
I have to say something about this little arm break spot right here. As much as I hated this show, when Hunter puts JR in this hold and he says, if you don't give me a title shot, I will break his arm.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mankind came out and he granted him the title shot. And then Triple H broke his arm anyway.
Right.
I'm so set in 2018 that I just presumed Mankind would still give him his shot. But instead, these assholes 19 years ago understood shit's got to make a little bit of sense.
Sure.
And so when he broke his arm, Foley says, you broke his arm, I'm not giving you your title shot. Perfect.
They tried.
And then Shane comes out and he makes the title shot. But I honestly could not believe it when he still broke his arm, and then Mankind said, well, I'm not giving you the shot then. I said I'd give it to you if you didn't break his arm, and you broke his arm, you're not getting it. I couldn't even believe that.
Yeah, it made
That's
sense.
how fucked up this business is nowadays, that I presumed that this would make no sense. But they actually made sense out of it. And Russo's still there.
Whoa. Yes, but McMahon is still in charge.
He's still in charge today.
I know, I'm just saying.
Well, I'm pointing out that, like, Vince was in charge then, and he's in charge now, and something made more sense back then,
That is true.
and Vince Russo is there, and he's not there today.
That is true.
What in the fuck's going on?
Did you notice the little sound effect they threw in?
There are two details. This is what I want to discuss. They added
Gonna break his arm.
That's about what it was. The broken bone sound effect. Did you notice it was like a second late?
Yes.
So Hunter snaps the arm, and Ross goes down, and then there's a...
Well, this was live, so they had to have somebody in the back
Hit a
on a
button.
microphone going,
Your eyes. you like clapping and breaking bone noises.
That's right.
So this is the funniest moment of the entire summer here when Ross fell and his arm broke and it hit the mat. Second of all, yes, it makes sense that Shane would come out and overrule Foley and make the match official, but Shane just comes out and says, well, Shawn's not here tonight, so I'm in charge. So Shawn Michaels just comes and goes randomly.
Sure.
He would just happen to not be there this week. Maybe he knew it was on the show and decided, I'm not going to that fucking shit. So Ross is loaded into an ambulance, taken away. Lawler says, I think it's a compound fracture.
how the fuck would he know that?
Well, check if you can see the bone poking through the skin.
Right. Blood, maybe.
If you can, it's a compound fracture. If not, it's not. Michael Cole comes out to take Jim Ross's place.
Oh, boy.
Now, Brian, you do watch Raw. Who was more annoying, the Michael Cole of 2018 or the Michael Cole of 1999?
99, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was awful on the show.
But, I mean, there's a big difference.
I'm sure there is.
There's two big
He's
differences.
only slightly better today, and it's been 19 years.
Sure.
Okay.
The curve is against him now.
This current Michael Cole had somewhat of an excuse.
But the other two guys in the booth, well, actually, the other guy in the booth, present day, makes Michael Cole look like a pro.
Oh, Coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'll repeat it, he is the worst wrestling announcer I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah, Michael Cole 99, way better than Coach today.
Oh, for sure. Road Dogg versus Al Snow in a hardcore title match. I'm going to say this again. Road Dogg versus Al Snow in a match with the hardcore wrestling championship of the world at stake.
Yeah.
I noticed it here. The pop when these wrestlers come out,
Yes.
especially in '99 on Raw, it doesn't matter who it is. The crowd loses their minds.
Everyone was a bigger star then, that's for sure.
Hey, did you notice Lillian Garcia debuted here?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. You know why?
Because she was so horrible.
She's fucking
Very
terrible.
It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable how bad she was. But you know what? I'm going to put her over.
She's hot.
No, well, she is.
Okay. Even now.
Look at how bad she was in 1999.
Better.
Look at how great she was just a few years later.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how bad Michael Cole was in 1999. Look at him today.
That much better.
That's right. So, Lillian, congratulations. You improved dramatically at your job.
My thought listening to her here was, I have always considered Nigel McGuinness to be the most improved person in wrestling I've ever seen.
Sure.
Wrong.
The gap between his worst performances and his best was the biggest. Lillian, I think, may have topped him.
Yes. She was so bad. You know what's funny? She was hot, but they never showed her on camera.
Hardly ever.
So what's the point?
Vince likes to look at her.
I guess that's it.
Don't forget, at the end of the day, for decades and decades now, this show is all about making one man happy. Okay, so in this match here, for the hardcore pro wrestling championship of the planet Earth,
That Al Snow won the night before.
Al Snow had won the night before. He comes out with poor Pepper in a dog crate at ringside. I'd be terrified out there.
Sure.
Match with 30 seconds. Al fucked up a spot with a ladder and a table and fell on his ass like a goof. And worse, Al was supposed to go through this table to set up Chris Jericho coming out. So Road Dogg has to scurry and grab Al and do probably the only powerbomb of his career to put Al through this table so that Al will be in the table when Jericho comes out. Jericho brawls with Dogg. They disappear to the back. Bossman comes out, kidnaps Pepper. He goes to the back. Road Dogg and Jericho are brawling in the back when when Bossman passes them, puts Pepper into
Thank
the car,
God you're here.
drives away. Al Snow goes running up the ramp after Pepper can't find it, and they go to commercial, and there is no finish to this 1-minute match for the World Hardcore Pro Wrestling Championship. This would have enough to make me want to turn off the show. I want to know more of Raw in 1999.
You know what amazed me about this?
A lot.
For some reason, like, everybody remembers Al Snow and Pepper.
Sure.
And the Big Boss Man. Right?
Because it's so stupid.
But look, think about all the stupid stuff that they have. This storyline's been going on for like 3 weeks. Al just got a dog.
Yeah.
We don't even know why. We don't know anything about this dog. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's been 3 weeks, the dog's already been stolen. Why is this shit remembered?
He was given the dog.
I mean, I
to get it
remember. I
sold.
just can't figure out why.
Sometimes, like you asked me once if I was a big fan of Billy Gunn because I remember it so much. I remember it because it's so horrible.
That could be.
In a lot of cases, people remember this because, spoiler alert, Big Boss Man ends up cooking this dog and feeding it to Al Snow.
Yes.
That's the storyline they went with and aired on their television program.
I guess you're right.
That's awful. So people remember it. So Al's backstage. He's distraught that his dog is missing. Undertaker and Big Show versus the Acolytes with Kane and X-Pac on commentary. Here's where I noticed how terrible she was. So, let's see. They're doing this match. Farouk gets thrown into the announce desk, and X-Pac says, "Oh, Jesus Christ." With that much emotion and energy.
Yes.
Maybe less. It was the most half-assed "Oh, Jesus Christ" ever uttered on a wrestling show.
But it was good because it made it feel like a shoot. Like he really wasn't expecting it.
Sure.
I guess. Well,
I mean, if he were expecting it, he would have been like, holy shit! Instead, he was just like, oh, Jesus Christ.
I guess.
Like a man fell on.
I would say more like he didn't care. So the match went a minute. The match went a minute. They all brawled for the DQ. Welcome to Raw in 1999. This.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Test tells Stephanie to sit tight. He has a surprise for her. Now, speaking of things we do and do not remember, did anyone have any gray matter in their brains devoted to this?
I must have lost him somewhere. 'Cause
Okay.
I don't remember this at all.
I wanted to lose some after seeing it. So, do any of you remember a movie in 1999 called The Blair Witch Project?
Oh, God. How did I not remember this horrible thing?
I don't know.
Because this was horrible.
The Blue Meanie and Stevie Richards are now doing the Blonde Bitch Project.
Now, what's the payout?
Rob remembers this?
I think I do.
Oh, my God. I literally had no memory of this when I saw it.
Now, bitch is spelled B-Y-T-C-H, so I can only assume
Tammy, right?
at the end of this is going to end up, the whole thing is going to be a rib or an insult on Sonny. That's the only thing I can
I
figure.
see.
So none of us remember this.
No, not at all.
So maybe it never happened again.
happen on SmackDown?
They threatened the payoff will be on SmackDown, which I'm so happy we're not watching.
Well, not yet.
Someday, Vinny.
We will run out of Nitros eventually.
Yes, unless you die soon. I mean, we have to watch more stuff.
Vinny, don't die, please.
But plan on it.
Good.
Test comes out. He says, I've gone through hell for a few months, but if I had to do it again, I would.
Okay, hold on a second. Before we even get into this stupid segment, gets in the ring, he says, it's time to pop a question.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing the stupidest outfit.
This was...
You're gonna fucking propose, and you're out there wearing that. Like, when I saw him in the ring, and he goes, it's time to pop a question.
He's wearing a bowling shirt and like cargo shorts and hiking boots.
I thought, so they want us to think that he's gonna propose. But then his question is gonna be, you wanna go get lunch?
Because no one of any dignity, with any dignity of any kind, would actually propose to a woman.
There's no way you're proposing wearing that fucking outfit. There's just not. He fucking did. I just spit everywhere.
I don't blame you. This segment warranted a spit take. It's fair.
Dude.
So he calls out Steph. Steph is coming out. Before anything else can happen, Shane is there. He says, Test, yes, you beat me in a lover or leaver match.
Yeah, so there was a match the night before. If Test beat Shane, Shane had to leave them alone and allow them to do whatever they wanted. This was the night before.
24 hours.
Stipulation, you had to pay $34.95 to watch. Shane comes out and says, fuck it.
Almost in those exact words.
I don't care about this stipulation. I can't let this happen. I will ruin it.
So he says this will only happen over my dead body. At which point Test, who has been a psychopath this entire storyline, says we can make that happen. He threatened to murder Shane McMahon on live TV with Shane's sister right there. So Steph interrupts, and we got the worst of Stephanie McMahon. I'm your sister! Why can't you love me for who I am? This went on for a while. So as she's wailing and squealing, frankly, hearing her voice like this, I would have taken that ring and chucked it in the crowd. Tess decides now is the perfect time to take a knee. And gets down on a knee. Steph walks over. Now, we're all married men, right, Robert? You're married? Yeah. We've all been through this. You build up to it, right? You explain how important and special this is and how much it means to you.
Sure.
Unless you're Test. And you say, will you marry me?
This got zero reaction. Like, he didn't even get booed or cheered. Nothing. They were deadly silent when he popped the question to Stephanie McMahon. So, in storyline, he's next in line for she says yes.
Sure.
No one gave a shit. The Test was going to be the next Vince McMahon.
So Stephanie's response is,
Do it again.
I don't know if I can.
Do it again.
She was not quite as grating here, but it was Stephanie saying, Andrew, I love you, but I need time.
Andrew, I love you, but I just need some time, but I love you.
Vinny's recreation brought a tear to a glass eye. Amazing.
This was an all-time wretched segment.
I wrote here, this was so fucking brutally bad.
It was so horrible.
We're like 20 minutes in a Raw.
Yes.
And
horrible. How did they beat Nitro?
this week, there is no answer to that question. It makes zero. If you watch these two shows, and if you were to watch these two shows, and I told you one of these companies is still alive and one is out of business in less than 2 years, you would have no clue.
5.65 to Nitro's 3.0.
Yeah.
Jericho is backstage with Howard Finkel. He's already found his new Ralphus.
Edward,
he called him. So he gave Fink some kind of speech about being a warrior, and Fink seemed to understand by the end of this.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett and Mark Henry came out for a promo. So I think
Mark turned on D'Lo Brown.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So Jeff Jarrett is going to award him the European title as a reward for turning on this
Because
man.
D'Lo had both belts going into the show, correct?
Yes.
I think that's right.
So
That's later.
all of these storylines with Jeff Jarrett and Deborah where they were breaking up, apparently this was also a ruse. And so he says, well, I've got a gift for you. He brings out Jerry Lawler's young girlfriend, Miss Kitty, who I guess is her new assistant. And then Jared announces, on my locker room door, there is an open contract anybody backstage can sign.
Mm-hmm.
So, Meat is going to accept this challenge.
No, Meat was supposed to...
Oh, Meat's going to wrestle Mark Henry. I apologize.
Jared makes his announcement and then
Yes.
clears their way so Mark Henry can have his match here against Meat.
Did you notice Mark Henry trying to put on the belts, but he couldn't get it around him, so he ended up just slapping it over his shoulder?
Sure. So, they cut backstage where D'Lo Brown in the best shape of his life,
Yes.
beating the hell out of Meat. This one-sided backstage ass-kicking seriously went longer than most of the matches in the show. And eventually, D'Lo came out and it became D'Lo and Mark Henry. They wrestled for a minute. D'Lo hit the frog splash. Jared attacked for the DQ. Why would anyone watch the show?
I have no idea. It's horrible.
And now there's Mr. Ass.
Yes.
Here's what happened, everyone. You will all think I'm making this up,
No.
or that I'm telling you a story.
Hey, this was far from the worst thing on this show.
Oh, it was.
It made complete and total sense.
I guess. Well, it does, but
Except for one thing.
well, here's what happened. Mr. Ass wants to sign Jeff Jarrett's contract and face him for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yes.
Right. But he's outside
You can't do this, Vinny, unless you sign the contract.
Yes,
You can't just accept his challenge.
No,
You must
never.
sign the piece of paper that is taped to his door.
As we have seen on so many challenges on the show.
Yes, it's not just ever you accept it in the ring and the match is on. That never happens.
But here's the flaw in Mr. Ass's plan. He's in the middle of a hallway. There's no desk. He doesn't have a briefcase with him for his paperwork. He can't find a pen.
Yeah, this moron Jared didn't leave a pen with the contract.
Well, you gotta work for it.
China walks down the hallway. Mr. Ass is very excited to see her. China, he says. Don't let anyone sign this contract. I am going to go find a pen.
Right.
Yes.
Now here's where it gets silly.
No, hold on. There's a lot of things to think about here. So, let's say that there's a contract downstairs on my counter.
Okay.
It says the first person that signs this contract, I will give $10,000 to, okay? So,
It's hypothetical, right?
if you go downstairs and on my counter you see that contract, and you don't have a pen,
Blood.
do you say to a buddy, hey, don't let anyone sign this contract, I'm gonna go get a pen? Or do you take the fucking contract with you and go get a fucking pen?
Great idea.
Yeah, Mr. Ass is a fucking idiot.
Sure. That is in fact the storyline.
Yes.
Mr. Ass is a dipshit.
So
he's on-
China,
Laughs at him because he's a fucking moron.
Yep.
She pulls a pen out of her bra.
excuse me.
Yes.
You're telling me
I didn't think there was room in there.
that China
For lots of things.
has enormous fake breasts,
Yes.
and she puts a sharp pen in her bra
Sure.
as she walks around in a wrestling arena?
Maybe they're hollow. She sort of stores all sorts of things in there.
That was the most ridiculous part of this whole thing.
She's just, well, or she knew she was going to go sign the contract and she grabbed a Sharpie and stuck it in her bra and then walked down the hallway.
There's got to be a safer place to put that pen.
Never mind.
So China laughs at Mr. Ass, who we have not mentioned is a moron, and she signs the contract, and that's that. This whole year is like the one giant rib on Billy Gunn. Seriously, when you look at what they did, they must have hated him to make him look this bad every single week. They go to break, they come back. Mr. Ass has been fooled. He's upset.
He's been made an ass.
He made an ass out of Mr. Ass. China, he said. He's shouting, China! He can't find her. This realized the show was not even half over, and I was already totally exhausted.
Okay, let's talk about what's next. The Rock.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
The Rock comes down to the ring, and he grabs a microphone, and he begins to cut a promo, hyping up the match that he is about to have on Raw with Gangrel.
Yeah.
Now listen, I guess Rock had only been in WWE for 2 years at this point. He was certainly not the Rock of 2018. But even 2 fucking years in this business, the idea that Rock is out there having a match with Gangrel live on Raw for free, which, by the way, he sold the entire time.
Yeah.
For Gangrel. I I could not believe my eyes.
I get your point.
And it went forever.
Forever. You have the guy who is now your top babyface because Austin's on the shelf, and you have Gangrel who is a guy. But then again, we love shows where Ric Flair wrestles Mike Jackson. So why not? I realize
Because this was not Ric Flair versus Mike Jackson.
it was not. Now, so yes, this happened. Gangrel comes out with the Hardys who are with him, and I thought to myself, hey, I forgot the Hardys are with Gangrel now. And then Jerry Lawler said, oh, I forgot the Hardys are with Gangrel now.
Well, it did happen last week.
So they're doing this match, and Matt and Jeff are interfering a lot to give Gangrel anything, really. Eventually, Edge and Christian run out and chase them away. Then Rock makes his comeback. He hits the rock bottom. He hits the people's elbow. He gets the win. It is a very average match,
I'll say.
which makes it far and away the best thing on this show. And then, of course, it's The Rock. So even for this very average match, I guess a nothing happening, going nowhere vampire, they cheer like he was Jesus. The segment was a win. Then Rock cuts a promo. He buries Hunter, buries Mankind, says cow shit. It's again not bleeped. And he promises to take matters into his own hand. Howard Finkel was in a weight room trying to psych himself up. And then Kevin Kelly interviewed a wooden mannequin they claimed was Tori. Now, I'm sure some of you would say, no, Vinny, this actually was Tori and she's that bad an actress. That can't be possible. This is a wooden hominid. They put makeup on and a wig and tried to fool me into thinking it was a human being. And it didn't work.
This was a very, very bad promo.
So the wooden mannequin explained that Ivory wanted to take her clothes off, which what do you do with mannequins, so whatever.
Sure.
She wants the championship, so she challenged Ivory to an evening match at SmackDown. The Ultimate Warrior's music hit, and Howard Finkel comes running down to the ring. So two things. First
Why
of
are
all,
we still watching this? Good question.
that too. Howard Finkel in 1999 had better cardio than the Warrior did in 1998.
Yes, he was making fun of the Warrior because he ran to the ring, shook ropes, and acted like he was out of breath.
But he was
When
not
he
out of
wasn't.
breath.
No.
Two, he starts doing this promo on Road Dogg. His voice is awesome. He's in the building. God bless Lillian Garcia. She is so not ready for TV, but they threw her out there and had Howard doing this.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes, Vinny.
So, Fink agrees with everything Jericho's saying. He calls Road Dogg down to the ring. Dogg comes out, but he thinks it's all a joke. Finkel shoves him a couple times.
I literally just yawned in the middle of the show. Maybe first.
Thinks he's high. Eventually gets taken more. He grabs Finkel. Y2J's music plays. Jericho jumps Road Dogg from behind. Y2J grabbed Road Dogg, who's not a small man, and he double powerbomb.
Yes.
I totally forgot he used to do that.
Yeah. Can we get this show over with? I'm already bored.
Wow.
Hunter met with Billy Gunn.
Al Snow is still sad
Tell Hunter
backstage.
China's looking for him. Bob Holly promo sets up Crash versus Hardcore Holly. They have a boring fucking hardcore match. Who cares? It sucks. Kevin Kelly update on Steve Austin. Severe tendon and ligament damage in both knees. Mankind promo. There, I cut off some time. Did I miss anything?
I just want to point out the hardcore match ended when they fought in the parking lot and disappeared.
Yes.
The second hardcore match in the show with no finish.
Yeah.
Man.
I want to talk a little bit about this match because there's one thing I'm not going to just rush through it. Midian and Viscera versus Kane and X-Pac with the Big Show and the Undertaker doing commentary. Okay? They're doing this match. I don't know what Jerry Lawler said, but the Undertaker on commentary says, and I quote, Lawler, if you say something like that again,
Yes.
I'll stab you right in the face. I died.
At another point, he said, I'm going to take your neck off your head.
You cannot even say the word violence in WWE nowadays. And here's this fucking guy saying, if you say anything like that again, I'll stab you in the face.
I'm reluctant to
I was crying.
I'm reluctant to add context to this. I think it may kill the humor, but
Don't even bother. Let's just all imagine. Like, I don't want to see The Undertaker wrestle Triple H for the last time. Could you put him on commentary with Coach? Let him go on there and let him just go off on this guy. I'll stab you right in the face. With what?
Doesn't matter.
Anything sharp?
Borrow China's
A
pen.
knife? A machete? It's just amazing.
So the Acolytes jump Kane, Viscera pins X-Pac with a splash.
And then Lillian Garcia says, the winner of this match, Midian, Viscera. I sighed. I can't do it.
What she was doing, each syllable was its own word.
Not only that, it's like
The winners of this match, Midian and Viscera.
I'll give you almost a perfect analogy. If they would have hired Whitney, she doesn't know any of these people.
Oh, okay.
She has no idea who the wrestlers are. They just give her a piece of paper that she has to read. She doesn't know how to pronounce Midian. She sure doesn't know how to pronounce Viscera. Actually, she probably wouldn't know how to pronounce Viscera. But the point is, that's what they had. Someone who knew nothing about wrestling. Nothing. And they put her out there to read some stuff off a paper.
We had a whole segment devoted to Mr. Ass walking around for a while,
Yes.
saying and doing nothing. Jericho tells Finkel he needs a lot of work, but he might get a job on SmackDown. Mr. Ass came out for a promo. Brian's analogy about Lillian not knowing what the hell she was doing and having no prep, they handed her this piece of paper and she had to say Mr. Ass.
Yes.
Those two words in that order, and she could not do it.
Yes.
Are you sure? That has to be some kind of mistake. So, Mr. Ass tells China to bring her sweet little ass to the ring. He asks what kind of game she is playing. She says he's thinking out his ass. He wants the title shot, and suddenly Jarrett appears and breaks the guitar over China's head.
Oh, that's all you're gonna say?
Well, no.
He went up behind her. I realize that the guitar is gimmicked, but he fucking wound up,
Yeah.
and he swung that thing like the mallet at the fair and hit her back of the goddamn head. She can't even see it coming.
No.
Forget being gimmicked. Just killed her with this guitar shot.
She went down and did not move.
Dude.
So, let's see. Ass then takes the guitar from Miss Kitty, breaks it over Jarrett's head. It's her first night in. They're already doing the story. She's fucking stuff up. This is very unpleasant.
Hit so hard in the head with this guitar. Fuck this show.
Yeah.
More to come.
And I gotta listen to these assholes talking about how, we didn't understand the issues with concussions until the mid-2000s.
So, Michael Cole's most annoying trait, and there are many, but his most annoying trait on the show was being absolutely surprised by everything. They're going to commercial. Rock is shown walking backstage. There's The Rock! Why is he walking? They go to commercial. They come back. Rock comes out to do commentary. What the hell else is happening? Michael Cole screams. Shane comes out in a ref shirt. What now? Do you realize that the nature of surprises is you're not expecting them? And so when all you do is surprise after surprise after surprise, you get less surprised in reaction each time instead of more?
Sure.
Triple H versus Mankind.
Tell me what happened.
I'll tell you what happened. Michael Cole fucking sucks.
Literally, I must have fallen asleep.
Michael Cole actually said the following line. He said this sentence clearly and concisely without mumbling. This is what he meant to say. He was talking about Triple H going crazy, getting angry. He snapped, King, but he snapped with a focused, cold, calculated plan. At this point, Dwayne Johnson turned to Michael Cole and said, "Do you have any idea how stupid you sound?" And I said, that was Dwayne Johnson. That was not The Rock. That was a shoot.
We need these guys on commentary more.
Rock? Yes.
Rock and The Undertaker.
Yes, Rock and Undertaker would be enough.
Get rid of everybody else and just have Rock and Undertaker call Raw. New boom period.
So the storyline is, in fact, Rock is wasting his time fighting goofs like Mr. Ass and Gangrel when he should be fighting for the world title. Rock,
that is correct. We missed that promo earlier.
Got a point.
He came out after he beat Gangrel. And he was like, "I'm sick of dealing with Gangrels and Billy Guns. I'm going to take matters into my own hands." And I'm like, that'd be a great promo if he didn't fucking sell for Gangrel for 10 minutes there. Right?
That would have made it better. So the first minute of this match is all chaos and confusion. Special guest referee Foley takes him out. Chyna comes out still holding her head. They very gently get her out of the ring.
True story. This match started. I left the room for like 30 seconds. I come back, there's no ref.
Yeah.
It just started.
It did. So there's all this chaos and confusion, and then at this point on this show, a professional wrestling match broke out, and it began to exchange holds. What the fuck? So here's what happened at the end, Brian. They're out on the floor. Hunter Hearst grabs a metal chair and he hits Mick Foley very hard in the head with it. He turns and he hits The Rock very hard in the head with it. He throws Foley in the ring. He hits a pedigree. Shane counts 3.
Cool, I'm glad I missed those 2 chair shots. I'd have been even more furious.
The one to The Rock was a
I probably would have quit.
The other thing is when Triple H whipped Mankind into China, she does a hip toss. He takes the bump where he, just takes a forward bump, but he ends up smashing his legs on the steel steps.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that move. Gosh.
Well, fortunately, you never have to take it.
No, but Mick Foley has trouble walking now.
Well, yes, he does. So, there was extra attitude, and it is, in fact, newsworthy.
Yeah.
So, did you watch Extra Attitude, Brian?
Actually, he
I
did.
kind of sort of watched it, yeah. I wasn't paying attention. I was infuriated.
First of all, let's get this out of the way. Not as a performer, but as a booked character on a pro wrestling show, Mick Foley is far and away the worst world champion of all time.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Every time he loses, he doesn't care. He just loses the world title here, gets screwed by a big angry guy and his big angry girlfriend and his future brother-in-law. They all screwed him. He didn't care. So Foley and Rock end up beating up Hunter and Shane. And they leave him in a pile, and Rock does the people's elbow, they play his music, and he leaves, and everything's happy, but Foley's not done. And Foley says, wait a minute, I'm gonna do people's elbow too. And he did, and he gets a huge reaction. And Rock is outraged at first. And then he's waiting on the stage watching this, and Foley goes up to say, hey man, I did your move. And finally Rock looks at him, he looks up and down, and they had a brief little handshake, and Rock leaves. And Foley was happier to get his handshake than he ever was to actually win a world title. The Rock shook my hand, he says.
That's true.
And it gets this huge reaction. They send Rock out there to do it again. And Rock stares at him up and down. They do a firmer handshake, and Rock even gives him a bro hug. And he goes backstage. I don't know how much of this was planned, but if you told me they had no plans for the Rock and Sock connection and then saw this little angle get over with this crowd, and so they built it that way, or built it that way, I'd believe you. This is also probably the best thing on the show, which is saying nothing.
I zoned off again during that whole review. I'm done with Raw. I'm sick of it. Let's talk about Nitro. Oh, damn it! Your music. This may be new.
The finishes on this show were, I'll go fast. No finish in a hardcore championship match that went 30 seconds and ended in a dog napping. DQ in a minute when a team that wasn't in the match got laid out. DQ in a minute due to run-in. The only clean pin on either show. No finish when dudes brought out of the building and I assume went home to avoid watching the rest of the show. Pin after interference, pin after a second ref and copious interference, and an assault on an announcer, and all sorts of other horseshit and cow shit, which I guess I can say now.
Thank you, Vinny.
Raw was fucking terrible. Nitro, number 205, August 23rd, 1999.
Here we go.
Okay, here, I'm gonna read my first two sentences. Show opened with clips of Sid running wild last week, and then nothing happened for a while.
Yeah, basically.
That don't happen.
I realize, by the way, that we are not all that far away from Nitro moving back to 2 hours.
This show was almost 2 hours. It was 2 hours and 7 minutes, but there was a Kiss concert.
They got rid of the Kiss concert and the debut of the Kiss Demon.
Aha!
But did you see the little graphic for next week? The Kiss Demon is on the graphic.
I can't wait.
Well, I assume the Demon debuted at the end of the concert, right?
Yeah.
So they probably set it up the whole second.
Oh.
There's a couple things here that made me think 24/7 was the retro program thing they had before the network, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I believe this program even edited for that long before 24/7 the network was a thing. So it was the old edited version is what I'm saying. Mikey Whipwreck versus Chase Tatum. So, in the world of amazing coincidences, here we are. We've learned Michael Cohen and Paul Manafort are going to prison, and WCW announces the president is stepping down. Now, I'm talking about Sting. But
Yes.
So, Tatum's the big white guy from No Limit Soldiers. He mostly looked fine.
What?
He did one sloppy dropkick.
He threw a drop kick and hit him in the hip.
It was a sloppy dropkick.
The drop and drop kick.
So,
Mikey was good enough to sell his hip, though.
so the announcers went silent for a full minute here. This happened 2 or 3 times during the show.
Massive bleed through from the truck
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
the whole time.
It may have been tech issues at the time. I don't know.
It probably stopped maybe an hour and 15 minutes into the show.
Yeah.
Finally.
So Sid's out a minute in. Maybe a little more, but he had somehow won 11 matches since last week.
Yeah, a bunch of house show matches he lost. And the Nitro that basically he lost last week, even though a man not in the match was pinned. He's now 66-0, they say.
until he powerbombs and pins Mikey and Chase Tatum, and now he's 68-0.
That's right.
Then Sid has the temerity to tell us that we don't know how to count.
He starts punching the air. He starts punching his own head. He starts ranting and raving about the year 2000. How we will hear only one name. Fans are chanting Goldberg. He says the name will be Sid. I love Sid.
Sid's good promos are very
I
good.
love Sid, and it only got better as the show went on. This was like the appetizer, setting up that Sid main event.
Okay, let me tell you something about this winning streak.
It's ridiculous.
The all-time college football unbeaten streak is held by the University of Washington Huskies. In the pre-World War I era, 64 games in a row without a loss. There was a tie in there, a couple of ties, but nobody beat them for 64 games. That sounds awesome, right? 64 and, 62 and 0 and 2. You look at the record, they were playing high schools. They were playing sailors in port with nothing to do, goofs from local gyms. But you know what? That winning streak is so much better than Sid's.
No shit.
Oh, yes, Lieutenant. What can I do for you? Did you sell this camera? Yeah, I had this camera on the shelf a couple of weeks ago. Oh, Lieutenant, you know we don't give no guarantee with something like this.
No, that's okay. All I want to know is one thing.